Welcome to Shad's Guitar Show. Whether it's the gear or the players who made the gear famous, join me each episode as we discuss all things guitar. Well, hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome into another exciting episode of Shad's Guitar Show. And I'm so glad that you are joining me for this episode, as I am when you join me for every episode. I can't believe how many episodes I've done. I was kind of scrolling back through since the beginning, just looking at some of the numbers of downloads and listens and all the cool, kind of things that you can look at to see how the show's doing, how it's progressing, how it's grown. And it really is cool to see the analytics of everything and see that it is definitely picking up steam, and I've got a lot of new listeners from all over the world, and it's kind of fascinating. So I'm glad that you found me. I'm glad that you've continued to join me each time. It's kind of interesting now whenever an episode comes out that the number of people watching it goes up really fast in comparison to the early days when, it would be 1, 2, 3. Now, immediately upon release, I'll see a big number of people watching it like right away, or listening to it rather right away, which is awesome. So today we're going to kind of continue with the Gretsch theme because I'm obsessed. I admit it. No shame in that. We all get obsessed with certain things, right? But Gretsch is my current obsession, and I have this 53 Vintage Select Duo Jet that I'm just really, really loving these days. And one of the reasons I like it so much is the pickups, which are the TV Jones T. Armands, which is obviously TV Jones' take on the D. Armand pickup, which initially was the Dynasonic, but we'll get into that. So this is the episode that we're going to dive into a little history on the Dynasonic Pickup. So the Dynasonic Pickup was developed by Harry D'Armand and produced by the Rowe Industries Company in Toledo, Ohio. It was introduced in the late 1940s, often cited as the Model 2000 or Dynasonic. It was amongst the first commercially successful magnetic pickups. While D'Armand has already built a reputation with his clip-on soundhole pickups for acoustic guitars by this time, the Dynasonic was a leap forward in tone and engineering for solid and hollow body electrics. Technically, the Dynasonic is a single coil pickup, but it differs significantly from the typical Fender-style designs. A true Dynasonic pickup is built around a single coil architecture, but with a wider footprint to accommodate its unique magnetic layout. Unlike most single coils that place magnetic pole pieces directly inside the coil, the Dynasonic uses a thick Alnico 5 bar magnet positioned to the side of the bobbin. This side magnet magnetizes a steel spacer located between the magnet and the bobbin. The magnetic field is then transferred through a row of adjustable steel pole pieces. The pickup contains a single bobbin wrapped with a coil of copper wire, and vintage versions usually are found with 42 AWG plain enamel wire scatterwound onto a Bakelite spool. It was the first pickup design to feature 6 individually adjustable pole pieces. These are steel rods that can be raised or lowered to fine-tune the output and balance of each string. The most complex part of the vintage-style Dynasonic is the mechanical assembly that allows for the pole pieces to be adjusted. A set of 6 screws is positioned to the side of the actual pole pieces, and turning these screws raises or lowers the poles. The original design features a sophisticated and durable mechanism, often called an elevator system, that moves the pole pieces vertically without requiring the pickup to be disassembled or the strings to be loosened. Modern reproductions often use cast metal casings, while original units feature pressed brass casings. The Dynasonic pickup has a broad, articulate frequency range with tight bass, sparkling highs, and a percussive attack that sits comfortably in any mix. The Dynasonic Pickup's golden era truly began when it was adopted by Gretsch for many of their top-tier models in the 1950s. Most famously, the Gretsch Duojet, introduced in 1953, was originally outfitted with Dynasonics, giving it a sharp and cutting tone that contrasted beautifully with Gibson's P90s and Fender's bright Strat and Tele sounds. Other notable Gretsch models featuring Dynasonics in the early days included the Gretsch Silverjet, the Gretsch Roundup, the Gretsch Country Club, and the original Gretsch 6120s. But Gretsch eventually transitioned to the Filtertron humbucker by the late 50s. But the early Gretsch sound was firmly rooted in the sonic fingerprint of the Dynasonic. And much of that great Gretsch sound from the early days, the stuff we hear from early pioneers like Chet Atkins, Eddie Cochran, Dwayne Eddy, Cliff Gallup, well, they were using Dynasonic-equipped guitars, not Filtertrons. And that sound, well, that was the sound of the Dynasonic. So let's discuss a few iconic guitarists who have helped bring the Dynasonic's unique voice to the forefront. Number 1, Cliff Gallup. Lead guitarist for Gene Vincent and the Blue Caps, Gallup's razor-sharp solos and jazzy flair were delivered through a Gretsch Duojet with Dynasonics. His playing on tracks like Bebop-A-Lula remain a textbook study in rockabilly phrasing and tone. George Harrison. During the early Beatles era, Harrison owned a 57 Gretsch Duojet with Dynasonics, which features prominently on their debut album, Please Please Me, and other early recordings. The articulate, biting tone of the Dynasonics helped cut through the dense mix of the early British rock. Malcolm Young, early AC/DC. While best known for his Gretsch Jet with Filtertron, some early images and interviews suggest Malcolm experimented with Dynasonic-equipped jets in his formative years, chasing that percussive, mid-focused rhythm tone. And Brian Setzer. Though more associated with Filtertrons, Setzer has occasionally used Dynasonic-equipped Gretsch models in the studio and praises their snappy, twangy bite, particularly for early rock and roll and rockabilly tones. Interest in Dynasonics has never completely faded, especially amongst vintage purists and roots-inspired players. Gretsch, recognizing the demand, reissued several models with Fidelitron or Dynasonic-style pickups under their Vintage Select and Custom Shop lines. Additionally, TV Jones, a boutique pickup manufacturer known for recreating vintage Gretsch sounds, offers the TV Jones T. Armand, a faithful modern take on the Dynasonics that became popular amongst contemporary players looking to capture that same tonal magic. What makes the Dynasonic so enduring is its unique tonal profile. Bright and chimey, but never thin sounding. Strong note separation and clarity. A bold attack with just enough grit to drive vintage amps. And it's ideal for genres like rockabilly, surf, country, roots rock, and early rock and roll. It offers more low end and output than a typical Fender single coil, but with more sparkle and detail than many P90s, which positions it in a very unique sonic territory. Though often overshadowed by humbuckers and Strat-style single coils in mainstream history, the D'Armand Dynasonic Pickup holds a crucial place in the evolution of the electric guitar sound. With its signature snap, strong articulation, and vintage mojo, the Dynasonic continues to captivate musicians who crave that elusive blend of clarity and punch. And whether you're chasing the twang of the 50s or crafting modern tones with a vintage spirit, the Dynasonic is a sound worth rediscovering. If you've enjoyed this look at the Dynasonic Pickup, please share this episode with a guitar-playing friend. And also, please rate the show wherever you're listening. That is incredibly helpful. And since I already know you're on YouTube all the time, make sure you're subscribed to Shad's Guitar Show there, as well as giving me a follow next time you pop on Instagram. I genuinely appreciate the support and for you coming along for the ride as we discuss all things guitar.